Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramagurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Good day. Today I am going to tell you a very interesting story of three sisters who had an amazing, unheard of experiences in their lives. And who are these three sisters? They are Ambe, Ambike, and Ambalike. And they were the daughters of King of Kashi or Kashi Raja. So when they came of age, as is the worry of every father, the Kashi Raja wanted to marry off these daughters or find a suitable grooms for them. Towards this end, he arranged a Swayamvara. Swayamvara is a form of finding a groom for the bride, generally practiced amongst the Kshatriya kings in the earlier times. So, in the Swayamvara, all the neighboring kings, eligible kings, will be invited to the palace where the bride stays, and the each king's list of achievements, his valor, his extent of the kingdom, what all he possesses, his assets, everything will be read out. And the would-be bride will enter the hall where all the kings are assembled. And after listening to the achievements of each and every king who have come there as a participant, uh, she will select the one whom she likes after seeing them physically also. We have to slightly go back from this and know that Bheeshma was also searching for brides for his brother Vichitravirya. Bhishma himself went to the Swayamvara in order to see the brides to be, so that to judge their suitability to his brother Vichitravirya. When he went there, people mistook his presence as though that Bhishma himself was wanting to marry. Because generally in a Swayamvara, people or the kings who intend to marry are only the participants. But seeing Bhishma, they made fun of him and they laughed, why such a old man is coming here to attend the Swayamvara. Got a bit upset by this. Even before he could say that he had come there not for himself but for his brother. And when people began to make fun of him, he's in the hands of these three sisters with the intention of taking it to his kingdom to wed Vichitravirya, and he came out of the palace. At this point of time, the kings who had assembled there to participate or witness that Swayamvara were aghast, and they said, how is that Bhishma, without even participating in the Swayamvara, he is taking away the girls. And some of them were bold enough to confront Bhishma and question him, and for which Bhishma said, this is the Kshatriya way of showing valor to the brides. So if anybody has got any issue in me taking the girls, you come and fight with me. Uh, some who were very bold and some who thought themselves very powerful fought with Bhishma, and they were defeated. Probably did Bhishma did wrong, but as per the Kshatriya Dharma that was in vogue during that time, it should be known that a king's rating in the eyes of the world or in the eyes of the Kshatriya neighborhood will rise when he takes away a girl in force. Because the reason being, when he takes away a girl in force, if anybody is wanting to protect that girl, they can come and fight with the kidnapper. If I can use that word, they can come and fight with the kidnapper. If the kidnapper is strong, he will win. If the others are strong, they will defeat the kidnapper. Here we may want to think that animals in the wild have the same set of rules. That a powerful male will try to attract the female, and if any other male comes, both of them will fight, and whoever is the winner, they will take the female. So probably the maybe an extension of that type of selection of females was in vogue during that time. And though Swayamvara was a more civilized way, this was also kidnapping or taking away a girl in force. Was also a very celebrated way of conquering a woman's heart. When Bhishma took away all this, the three girls, on the way back to his kingdom, he encountered one more king. His name was Brahmadatta. He was ruling a kingdom called Salva. So this Brahmadatta confronted Bhishma and he said, "Oh old man, why are you taking away these three beautiful young women who needs to wed some youngsters like me rather than you? Come on, if you want, you fight with me." Bhishma was such a powerful person without any extra effort. He defeated Brahmadatta, depriving him of his chariot, his mace, his bows and arrows, everything. He was left standing on the ground. Deeply humiliated, this Brahmadatta goes back to the kingdom. Now this Bhishma presents these three beautiful daughters of Kashi Raja to his stepmother Satyavathi. However, at this point, the Ambe, the eldest of the three sisters, tells her, "I am deeply in love with Brahmadatta, the king of Salva, and he also loves me, and this is a reciprocal love. So, having given my love and heart to Brahmadatta, I cannot definitely marry Vichitravirya." Satyavati and Bhishma thought about this and they said, "It is fair enough since you have already given your heart to somebody else. It is not proper for us to force you to marriage to Vichitravirya." And as such, Bhishma giving her all due respects and putting her in a chariot and with some guards, he says to Ambe, "Ambe, you please go to Brahmadatta and you marry him. You be happy. We are not forcing you." And Ambe arrives at the palace of Brahmadatta with great optimism, great happiness and pleasure that she will be united with her lover. But here the story takes a different turn in the sense Brahmadatta, though he loved Ambe, he refused to take her as his wife, saying that I have been defeated. The winner has taken you as a prize, that is Bhishma. So I do not want to receive you back when I have lost the battle with Bhishma. So you do not come to me. You go to Bhishma and you marry Vichitravirya himself. I am not going to take you as a wife. Surprised and dejected, this Ambe comes back to the kingdom of Bhishma and she says, "Oh Bhishma, this is what has happened. Brahmadatta is not accepting me as his wife. He does not want to receive me and honor me. So I will better marry Vichitravirya only." For which Bhishma says, "No, no, 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 this is not possible, Ambe. See, once you have openly told me you are already in love with Brahmadatta, having given your heart, how can you marry Vichitravirya? It will be unfair for my brother also to marry you. So, you have told me that you are loving Brahmadatta and accordingly I have sent. I have done my duty as per Dharma. So please don't come back here. You go to him only and you convince him only. Your place is not here." This poor Ambe again comes back to Brahmadatta and requests him, "Oh Brahmadatta, we were lovers. You please accept me in marriage. Please accept me as your wife." But Brahmadatta flatly refuses, saying that this cannot happen at all. Because if I had not fought with the Bhishma, or if I had won the battle with the Bhishma, I would have willingly taken you. Having lost the battle with Bhishma, how can I accept his charity in sending you away? For which Ambe says, "No, this is not charity. Bhishma heard my story about we being in love, and with all due honor, he has sent me. So please marry me." Brahmadatta says, no, I cannot be deemed as a winner when I have lost the battle. I cannot marry you. You please go. Again, this poor lady Ambe comes back to Bhishma and requests again to get her married to Vichitravirya. And Vichitravirya also says, no, no, once you have told us that you belong to someone, your heart belongs to someone, we cannot take you, we cannot marry you. And Ambe was so desperate that she asks Bhishma, even though he is very old for her, she says, Bhishma, at least you marry me. Because now Brahmadatta is not accepting me. Vichitravirya is not accepting me. Because you kidnapped me from my palace, you at least marry me. For which Bhishma says, no, no, just remove that thought from your mind. I am not going to marry you. When I kidnapped you and when I brought you to my kingdom, I brought you just as a father brings his daughter, or a father brings his daughter-in-law, or a brother brings his younger sister. I brought you to this kingdom with that intention and with that idea. I don't have any ideas, or I can't see you as a wife or in any other form. Not only that, I have vowed to be a lifelong celibate. I have taken a vow of celibacy, lifelong. I will never ever marry you. Not only you, for that matter, I am not marrying any woman at all. So you have to take care of yourself. I am helpless. It is said in Mahabharata, this poor Ambe suffered suffered for 6 long years, shuttling between Brahmadatta and Bhishma's pleasures, requesting them to marry. She goes to Bhishma and says, marry me. She goes to Vichitravirya and she says, marry me. She goes to Brahmadatta and she says, marry me. And nobody marries her. Imagine the fate of a woman where she declares her love openly and that lover does not honor his words. It is a very pathetic state for a woman. So this Ambe is totally dejected and downcast, and she becomes extremely sad, and she does not know what to do because none of them are accepting her. Then she thought, whether should I go to my parents' house? Even that she rejected. It is generally believed a woman who goes out in marriage or who goes out seeking her lover is not welcome back to live permanently with the fathers. Fathers have done their duty. Now the daughters or the husbands or their sons have to look after. So Ambe said to herself that I cannot go there also. All these problems started because of Bhishma himself. Why did Bhishma kidnap me? If I was in that Swayamvara, I could have married somebody and lived happily. So this Bhishma is wrong in his action. And why did this Brahmadatta reject me? Have I married someone else? Or have I gone with some other king? I was totally devoted to Brahmadatta. Just because Bhishma took me to his kingdom, why Brahmadatta should reject me? Quoting some Dharma Shastras. Brahmadatta is also wrong. And what about my father? He is also wrong. Because why did he arrange Swayamvara? Instead of Swayamvara, he could have chosen a guy for me, a king for me, and I would have married and been happy with him. So my father is also wrong. Just imagine the desperation when people feel the way Ambe felt. She blamed her father. She blamed Bhishma. She blamed Vichitravirya. She blamed Brahmadatta. So we need to understand here from this Mahabharata story that when circumstances go extremely bad in a person's life, we tend to blame everybody else, right from the sun, moon, earth to your daughter, son, wife, everybody, friends, office colleagues, everybody except yourself. That is how it is. We rarely look into ourselves. We look outside for throwing the blame. She thought to herself, when Bhishma was kidnapping me, even before he met Salva Raja, that is Brahmadatta, and fought with him, if I had told Bhishma that I am in love with Brahmadatta, probably Bhishma would never have fought with Brahmadatta. He would have left me in that Salva kingdom and he would have gone only with my two sisters. I did a mistake there. Did I do a mistake there? At that time, she is ruminating about this incident. But the choice is already made. She did not tell. See, that is the problem which we face in our lives, daily lives. Right from getting up from your bed to whether to brush or not, whether to go to office or not, whether to meet a friend or not, whether to invest money or not, if investing, which in each, whether to marry this girl or not, whether to divorce or not, whether to scold my children and whether to scold my kids or not. Everything in our lives, at each step, there is a choice whether you have to do this, whether you have to do that, or you have to do the third one or the fourth one. Life is all but a choices. And the choices we choose today, for each of the choices that present itself, will determine our future success or failure. Success or failure, meaning the way you think what is success and what is failure. We also need to think about this from another perspective. When choices are there, we tend to choose choices based on our prarabdha or our earlier sins. In our daily lives, when I said when we have the choice, yes, choices are there, and depending upon the choices you make, your life will get shattered out. But because of the accumulated sins, even though you know this choice could have been, this A could have been better or B could have been better, you tend to choose C because of your prarabdha. Prarabdha in the sense your accumulated sins from the previous birth. That is what it is said. So Ambe, she did not speak when she wanted to speak. Ambe thought that nobody is going to help, so let me become a sannyasini. Let me become a sannyasini, meaning equivalent of Christian nun. So she goes to ashram, and in one particular ashram, she unfolds her story about her life, how it happened, and the state which she is in. And she says, I want to become a tapaswini or a sannyasini. Why? Because I want to take revenge on Bhishma by killing him. Because my entire life got spoiled because Bhishma kidnapped me. That was her argument. The sages listened and said in the ashram, no, no, what you are thinking is wrong. Whatever has been done is done. But now you are still young and beautiful. Go back to your father. He will suggest you the best option of how to carry on your future life. But Ambe was adamant. She did not listen to any of these words of these wise sages in that ashram. She said, I am not going to my parents' place where I will be humiliated lifelong. I do not want to go there. My only aim is to kill Bhishma, who was the reason for me being in the state I am now. And when such deliberations were happening, one king, Raja Rishi, came to the ashram. His name was Hotravaha. This Hotravaha was none other than the grandfather of this Ambe. Ambe's mother's father was Hotravaha. He happened to come to this ashram, and when the sages had congregated, they raised the topic of Ambe's plight with Hotravaha. Hotravaha called Ambe, and he noticed and he was happy that it was his own granddaughter. And he said to her, you come to my kingdom and I will give you a very good life. Since you are my granddaughter, I will give you a very good life in the kingdom, and you be happy. You spend your rest of your days. But as I said earlier, when prarabdha is eating us, you tend to make wrong choices. So she says, no, no, I am not coming to your kingdom also, because you are related to me as a grandfather. I do not want. My only aim is to kill Bhishma. Then Hotravaha says, okay, don't worry, you need not come to my kingdom also. But the only solution that can be given to your problem is by Lord Parashurama. And incidentally, it was known that Lord Parashurama was arriving at that particular ashram the very next day. So when Lord Parashurama came to the ashram the next day, Hotravaha, that is the grandfather of Ambe, narrated Ambe's plight and story and her intention. Parashurama, he listens patiently to the entire episode of Ambe's life, and he calls Ambe and he says, see, so tell me, what is your intention? What do you want to do? Whether you want to go and live with Brahmadatta, or whether you want to go and live with Bhishma. Because hearing your story, you have said that you wanted to marry at one point of time Brahmadatta and at one point of time Bhishma. Tell me, what is your intention? O Guruji, O Lord Parashurama, you are a better judge of what I need. So what appears correct to you in this situation, you do, and I will blindly follow that way. And Lord Parashurama thinks for a while and he says, hearing the entire episode, I feel that Bhishma's wrong is slightly on the upper hand. So since Bhishma is my disciple, go to him and I will ask him to marry you. He can't refuse the request of a guru. So then they meet up with Bhishma, and Bhishma welcomes his guru with great devotion and respect. And now Lord Parashurama says to Bhishma, I have heard about Ambe's story. Now the reason for me coming to your palace is I am asking you as a guru to marry Ambe and give her a life. Bhishma says, oh, Guru, what is this logic or what is this dharma you are telling? You know very well that I have taken a vow of celibacy. How are you insisting that I should marry? I cannot marry anybody. For which Parashurama says, no, no, since you kidnapped her, if you had not kidnapped her, she would have been happy elsewhere. She would have married Brahmadatta or some other king would have married. You have kidnapped her and now you are refusing to marry. For which Bhishma says, true, I kidnapped her with the intention of marrying Vichitravirya. Even before the marriage could take place, Ambe openly said that she is in love with Brahmadatta, and I, with due all honors, I sent her to Brahmadatta. If Brahmadatta rejects, it is not my problem. And you as a guru cannot insist me to marry a person whom I do not like, or for that matter, when I have taken a vow of celibacy, I cannot marry any woman. Lord Parashurama says, no, 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 leave aside all logic and reasoning in this way. I am telling you as a guru, marry. This is against dharma. You have left a woman in the middle of the road. Bhishma says, your dharma or your way of thinking or what you call as dharma is really not dharma. You are just playing on the feelings of me being your disciple and you being a guru. I won't budge to that. I am not marrying her. Lord Parashurama says, if you are not marrying her in a decent way, then either I will force you to marry or I will kill you in a battle. Bhishma says, fine, if you want to kill me and if you let us get into a battle mode, let us fight each other. I am not afraid of death. The only thing I am afraid of going against dharma. I am not afraid of the death. Come on, let us go to the battleground. And imagine the guru and the shishya, or the teacher and the disciple, they went to a battleground, and it is said they fought for very many days using all the types of astras, shastras, mantras, tantras, everything. And it went on for a few days. The way they fought with each other will itself constitute a day's talk in this regard. So, suffice it to say at this point of time, neither the Guru nor the Shishya won. Devatas and other mediators came in between, and a truce was arrived, and the battle was stopped. So, there was no winner, no loser, it was a draw. Now, at the end of this battle, Parshurama comes to Ambe and says, "See, Ambe, you have witnessed the battle. I am unable to defeat my disciple, and as such, honor my word at this point of time." Now it may come to the minds of a listener, what is this? We know that Lord Parashurama is an incarnation of God himself, the supreme head. And when he had told that he will make Bheeshma obey his words, or see that Ambe marries Bheeshma, he went back on his words. What is the reason for this? Is there any explanation? There are so many different explanations given by so many different commentators, but suffice it to say at this stage that when both Ambe and Bhishma died at a future time, they became one in heaven, meaning that the words of Lord Parashurama became true, so that both Bhishma and Ambe became together. So now this Ambe, now even with Lord Parashurama's help, she could not win over Bhishma, or could not punish Bhishma. So she decides that the only way to kill Bhishma is to do severe penances, attain some extraordinary boons, and then kill Bhishma. What Ambe does after this, how she becomes an ascetic, how she attains a lot of boons, and how her goal of killing Bhishma will become a reality. We will be talking in the next edition of this series. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.